start the NFL free agency YouTube. I'm your host, Chris, with another www.everydaysportsfans.com video. And today we're going to be talking about three of the most talked about possible free agents that are going to be officially going to be sought after today. And I'm going to pick, in honor of it being three, I'm going to pick the three teams I think have a really good shot at signing these players, and it'd be a good fit for them and a good fit for the team. Okay, so for this video, I want to be honest, I have barely read anything other than maybe a couple of notifications that have come up on my newsfeed on my phone about these three free agents I'm going to be talking about, which are Colin Kaepernick, Adrian Peterson, and Alshon Jeffery. I picked these three because for me, they have the most interesting arc of been on their teams for so long, and they're getting up there in age, and so this is probably going to be their last stops of their career, and so I'm finding them to be the most interesting three free agents I can cover really quickly in a video for you guys. And like I said, the teams I will be picking are totally off of just me thinking where they would fit in, so I'll give quick brief reasons on all that. But let's start it off with all-day AP Adrian Peterson. So for being honest about Adrian Peterson, he probably only has one decent usable year left in him. However, he is Adrian Peterson. He has proven us wrong throughout his career on his durability of still being able to produce yards after tearing an ACL and hitting 30. And so I'm not going to put anything past him, but I feel like it's not unreasonable to suggest this is probably his last competitive season in the NFL, if it's even competitive. That being said, that means he has to go to someone that is right on the cusp of either making the leap to the next level or a Super Bowl contender lacking a running back. So the obvious choices for that would be New England and Seattle. New England has running backs, but they have LeGarrette Blount, who's getting old as well. So AP could fit, but I'm not picking New England. I don't think he's going to go to New England. Seattle, I think they're very committed in Rawls and Procise, or maybe getting someone through the draft, even though the best running back they have ever had. In the Pete Carroll era, he brought in via free agency. I don't think they're going to be the two picks, even though they would be the most Super Bowl contenders that you're looking at. Really, the running back could put them over the edge. Should the Patriots repeat and the Seahawks get back? I'm going with the New York Giants. The New York Giants have the passing game with Eli Manning and Odell Beckham Jr. and Shepard and all those guys, but they haven't really had a dominant running back since Tiki Barber. And I think if you could balance out the throw the ball up to OBJ a bunch with just Adrian Peterson powering it in, and then with the stable of backs New York always seems to have that are good pass-catching backs, I think New York would be a very popular dark horse contender for the Super Bowl if they could somehow snag AP. The other team was in Super Bowl 50 and lost, and then stunk last year, and that's the Carolina Panthers. I think adding another big bruising runner that's not Cam Newton would really benefit the Carolina Panthers. Because the only person that's going to really punch you in the mouth consistently running the ball on Carolina is Cam Newton. You have the off-pace chance of Mike Tolbert getting a couple carries, and that big bowling ball is going to leave some damage as well. But the real damage comes from Cam Newton. Even when people sack him, it can't feel good. So I'm going to say adding AP would really keep defenses more honest because we'd create that run game. And even, can you imagine the read option of you're a D-end or maybe like a corner or safety that's playing contain, and you have the option of Cam Newton's going to keep it and plow me over, or thank God he didn't give it to him, and then the other corner or safety is just like, oh crap, here comes Adrian Peterson. I think that could be very deadly and fun to watch as a fan. As like I said, this is probably AP's farewell tour. The other option is the Kansas City Chiefs, assuming that they're going to lose Jamal Charles, which has also been rumored they're going to lose. But if they kept him, it would still work. It just wouldn't work quite like I think it's going to. Jamal Charles is more of a speed back. He has power. He's quick, everything like that. But AP's different. Alex Smith's game is set up for Adrian Peterson. He's all about those short crossing routes across the field, nothing over 20 yards. Well, that's great. That means the defense is going to be in the box. Make them punch in so you can open out the outsides, because AP running that little just power game is really going to allow for your short yardage. You know, grind them out. We'll beat them here, a couple yards here, a couple yards there. Next thing you know, we're in the red zone. Next thing you know, we're on the goal line. Next thing you know, we're in the end zone. AP and Alex Smith are the kings of just getting those short yards. I mean, AP can fall forward for 4 yards. I think he fits the Kansas City Chiefs perfectly. And I think Kansas City Chiefs are one piece away from really being a Super Bowl contender and challenging the Patriots and whoever else might challenge in the AFC this year. On to the kneeler, Colin Kaepernick. I've heard he's not going to be kneeling anymore, but we're not going to get into that. That's his whole deal that's been talked about. We're talking about Colin Kaepernick, the football player. And it might not be great, but I would say he did play better than Blaine Gabbert last year. And I know that's incredibly debatable, and most people will have a different opinion on that. But I think he's going to draw a lot of eyes, depending on if Jimmy Garoppolo comes out or not. And then if Mike Glennon is the only other major quarterback really hitting the free agent market. So we're going to say Colin Kaepernick is the biggest guy. And we already know a couple teams are interested in him. The one that's getting a lot of talk, the one I've seen on my notifications a lot, is coming to the Seahawks. So I will cover it because I've actually seen a lot of this on Bleacher Report. But I'm not too convinced it's going to happen because if you're Colin Kaepernick, it makes sense. Him and Russell Wilson have a decent relationship together. I don't know if they're best friends, but I know they've done things together, so they'd probably get along. However, I don't think he's going to challenge for the starting position, obviously. And that being said, I don't think he wants to be a backup. He didn't seem happy being the backup to Blaine Gabbert. I don't think he's going to want to be the backup to Russell Wilson, even if it means possible Super Bowl appearances again. I think he wants to win it this time on his back and his arm, not riding the pine to get a ring, even if it would look good with his beats and all the tattoos and everything he has. That Super Bowl ring would fit in. But I think he wants to earn it himself because I do feel like Kaepernick deep down is a competitor and he just doesn't want something given to him. Obviously, he'd get his snaps, but I don't think he's going to be a Seahawk, even though that seems to be a very popular rumor right now, so worth covering. It seems to be possible. I could see how it would happen. I just don't think it's going to happen because he wants to be a starter. I think the Seahawks would love it, but I don't think. The other one is the other opponent in Super Bowl 48, and that would be the Denver Broncos. Now, they have Trevor Siemian, and they have Lynch, but, I mean, they're not really developed yet. They're not, I mean, they played great. The Broncos started off, like, awesome, and you were like, maybe they don't need Peyton Manning or Brock Osweiler. It looks like they're still going to be a playoff team. And then they finished third in the AFC West, which hasn't happened in, like, 7 years for them. I mean, like, from before Tebow. So, I mean, they're in a little bit of a spur right now, and John Elway's looking for a quarterback. I don't think Kaepernick's his ideal fit, even though they played more similar to each other, strong-armed, not afraid to run it and get the extra yards. I'm not convinced Elway's sold on Kaepernick, but I think Denver wants a quarterback. He's the best one out there, and they view if it doesn't work, it just gives Paxton Lynch and Simeon one more year to kind of learn and really put a fire under them to compete with someone that's proven it before instead of just each other. And maybe it'll help have them make each other great because they can both focus on beating out Kaepernick. And Kaepernick would most likely get the start, which is what Kaepernick's probably going to care about. And Denver has some coin to throw around if they let DeMarcus Ware go. The last option is the most quarterback-starved team possibly ever, the Cleveland Browns. The Cleveland Browns just barely nudged out the New York Jets for me as someone that would take Kaepernick. I think the Jets would love Kaepernick but be worried about him in New York, where Cleveland isn't worried about Kaepernick in Cleveland. They dealt with Johnny Manziel. They're used to the antics. They just don't care if you win. They're like the Raiders, but the Raiders finally figured it out. Just win, baby, win. They don't care who's on their team at this point. They just want to win or at least make the playoffs. And I think Kaepernick, even though the AFC North is tough, super tough, I think Kaepernick could really get the Browns at least in playoff contention. They add a couple more pieces through the draft or other free agents. The Browns could secretly be good next year. I mean, when you think about it, they have Terrell Pryor. Josh Gordon could be coming back. They've got a stable of running backs. They've got a good offensive line. They've got a young, hungry defense. Who knows? The Browns have had so many first-round picks on that team. It's easy to say they're loaded with young talent, but hasn't done anything. So maybe Kaepernick comes in there, and they're still the Cleveland Browns, which is probably what would happen. But I think he goes in there knowing that's his best chance out of any team to start. And that's why I think the most realistic shot is Kaepernick goes to Cleveland. And I bet you it's on like a short, like 2-year deal. And he plays well, and he bounces to Houston or Jacksonville or whoever in that next 2 years is going to be start Arizona, who might be starved for a quarterback. And he's like, I've proved I'm good. He'll do like the pretty much exactly what, Arizona's a good pick. See, I'm thinking out loud with you guys. Do the Carson Palmer. You played all right in Cincinnati, kind of had a fallout, you leave. Then you go play at Oakland, and, do whatever. You play on a team that's just needs a quarterback. Then Arizona picks you up as a veteran because Kurt Warner just retired. Palmer comes in and has a great couple years, even though everyone thought he was washed up. Kaepernick does the same thing. Kaepernick played great at the Niners, then kind of had a falling out. Then he goes to Cleveland and just kind of does Cleveland for a while, which, like I said, And then Carson Palmer retires. Kaepernick's deal goes boop, and he's next thing, starting for the Cardinals, division he used to play in, beats up on the Niners every year and goes ha ha ha, gets the rivalry going with Sherman and the Seahawks again, and then everyone remembers that other team in the NFC West. No, they really don't. Alright, now Alshon Jeffery was the hardest one for me to do because I'm not even necessarily sure the Bears are going to get rid of him. So this video could come out tomorrow, and the Bears could announce, we're signing Alshon Jeffery, we changed our mind. And we'll pay him what he wants. But I think it's fun to play with it because there are some decent wide receivers that are going to be coming out this year in free agency. But Alshon Jeffery's the one that's been a Bears staple for a while, even though they've been bad for a while. So I feel like he's one of those players that is ready to go to a contender. And maybe not be the #1 guy. Maybe go back to how it was when Brandon Marshall was there, where he wants to be more of a duo and not have double coverage every game, where it kind of is all about matchups for him. And I think he might really like that. So to start that off, I'm going to throw it back right at where it left off. He goes to New York. The Jets keep Brandon Marshall. They bring in Alshon Jeffery. They give Ryan Fitzpatrick or whoever they draft or whoever they get in free agency 2 huge weapons. The Jets want to win because the Giants have had all the success. They had like 1 good year with Mark Sanchez and he followed that up by butt fumble year. I think the Jets want to make a splash because they're tired of being like New England's whipping doll, and then New York's tired. The Giants are tired of being New England's whipping doll, so then they take it on the whipping doll of the Jets. Even if they don't necessarily play, it's just like the fans in New York are like, oh, well, it could be worse. Our Giants lost to the Patriots again, but we could be the Jets. Heck, even Buffalo probably saying that to the Jets. At least Buffalo has a little bit of promise with Tyrod Taylor and LaShawn McCoy and everybody. Like, there's some pieces. They just need to figure it out, and a lot of them believe it's just Rex Ryan. The Jets are going, yeah, we agree, except we're still stuck here too doing nothing. The other option is goes to Arizona. The Cardinals have some wide receiver pieces, but if anyone remembers the day where it was Anquan Bolden and Larry Fitzgerald, and they were just on fire. They were so good. Fitzgerald's obviously getting older, and Alshon Jeffery, it's not even sure if he's going to stay. He hasn't announced that he's retiring or if he's staying, so he could straight up just retire at any moment. But I think Alshon Jeffery would really like to play with Larry Fitzgerald. I think they'd make a very interesting duo. And I think it would give Carson Palmer a little bit, all right, I'm coming back for another year or two. Let's get this done. Let's get back to the playoffs. Let's get back to the NFC Championship game. And let's get back to the Super Bowl. And I think the Cardinals are there. They just need to get their big play offense going again. And David Johnson was great this year, but it just didn't fit the throw it with Carson Palmer game that they had. And I think you get that going again with David Johnson, and the Cardinals could easily win the NFC West. They could easily win the NFC, and they could, challenge for a Super Bowl. It all depends. Super Bowls are all matchups, in my opinion. So it's never easy to win a Super Bowl, obviously, because there's still, like 7 teams that have never even been to one. And the last option might be the most exciting. Have him go to Drew Brees' New Orleans Saints. Now, Drew Brees is getting up there in years as well. So Alshon Jeffery might be able to get another team and do his victory lap with someone like the Patriots or, Seahawks, whoever's competing at the time, the Steelers. He'll have time to maybe be like, all right, I'm just going to go to a team, be a role player, and just get a paycheck, get a ring, end my career, and just hope on my Hall of Fame bids. But before that, he could play a couple seasons with Drew Brees before he leaves. Dude, they don't have the weapons they used to when they used to have Jimmy Graham. Drew Brees is looking for that big body he can hit that's just totally sure-handed. I mean, it's kind of like the Patriots, where New Orleans is really good at finding wide receivers, making them work. They make catches, they mesh with Drew Brees, and it's all good and dandy. But in honesty, they're not better than, they're not top half of the league receiving corps. They're just a receiving corps that gets the job done, where if you add Alshon Jeffery, you have that superstar that you can just Hail Mary lob it up to. And I think Drew Brees would love that. It would take a little pressure off him. It would take a little pressure off all the other Saints receivers that are out there. And if you put, him, Alshon Jeffery on one side and Brandon Cooks on the other side, and just go, Brandon Cooks either beats him deep or I'm going to lob it up to huge Alshon Jeffery. That's a great, amazing thing to watch. I would love to see him go to New Orleans. I think it would be an absolute blast. Alright, so that's all I have to say on Colin Kaepernick, Adrian Peterson, and Alshon Jeffery. I brought this video to you guys because my Johnny Manziel's NFL comeback, what team should he get signed by, was so popular. It's my most popular video on the channel. I was wondering if that's kind of the stuff you guys wanted to see. If it is, leave a comment down below on any of my ideas on where some other popular free agents might go or some trade rumors. I'd love to talk to it about you guys. It is kind of fun to speculate. Also, make a comment down below on where you think these 3 players are going to end up. And, 'cause if we work together, maybe we'll guess it perfectly. Anyways, I want to thank you guys for watching, and everything else I have to say will, just be covered in this video.